Lynette Scavo hairstyle is back. Hi guys, it's Michelle, and today's video is going to be another Mandela Effect video, which honestly wasn't sure I would ever make one again. Before we get into why I'm making this video and stuff, I haven't made a video in quite some time because of just everything going on in the world. It didn't really feel right to put out like a fun or like conspiracy video at that point. Basically, I definitely want to touch on it because I mean, if you follow me on social media, you would know that I've been quite vocal about the Black Lives Matter movement. It is something that I'm very passionate about, and you should be too, otherwise you're clearly just not listening. There's something, you know, what's not clicking if you're not passionate about this. But obviously, other than tweeting about it, Instagramming about it, like donating, all that stuff, I want to be able to do something like daily with the Black Lives Matter movement, not just like make it like a one, you know, post thing or like just posting about it. Like, I want to be able to help in other ways. First of all, if you have any suggestions, let me know. But second of all, I'm going to be starting in each video listing different Black owned businesses that are small businesses within the video in the description box to help promote businesses that are Black owned. And there are so many incredible businesses that I've been introduced to throughout the past few weeks, and I'm obsessed. First of all, these eyelashes, beautiful, from Phenomenal Beauty. I'll link them below as well. It's like an Etsy shop. It's owned by a Black woman and it's just great. And I think there's so many ways to incorporate supporting the Black community in our everyday lives. I just think this is so important. I want this to be an everyday thing that I'm contributing to and an everyday thing that I'm using my platform to support. So definitely, if you have any other suggestions, let me know. But in the description box below, I'm going to be linking all of the resources that I've found helpful, whether that's information, petitions to sign, places to donate to, all of that will be linked below. Like I said, that I'm going to be from now on in each video linking a Black owned business that I've, you know, been introduced to, and I want to introduce you guys to, because obviously I have a platform and I want to be using it every day to support the Black community. Black Lives Matter. It needs to like click this time with everyone. We need like actual change. So if you are a Black owned business or if you know of any, definitely leave them in the comments below so I can check you guys out, and so that my other subscribers can check you guys out as well. And also I will probably be linking them all, any of the ones in the comments on my future videos, because I want to be able to use my platform to amplify Black voices and the voices that deserve to be heard. So just do what you can. Like I said, even ordering from Black owned restaurants, Uber Eats and Postmates now have sections in their apps for Black owned restaurants, and it's free delivery for the rest of the year. So that's really cool of them to do that. Support Black owned businesses, support Black owned restaurants, support Black creators. I will also leave a link of Black creators. I'll like leave like a Black like YouTuber or creator in general, and then a Black owned business, because there are so many that deserve to be amplified. Also, if you're a Black creator and you make content here on YouTube, comment down below. Definitely check out the resources and links below, and let's get into the video. Basically, the Mandela Effect, if y'all have been subscribed to me for a minute, you know that was like what my first jump into the YouTube world really was talking about the Mandela Effect, because people really liked it and were into it, and I'm obviously into it. I was very passionate about it. I probably haven't made a Mandela Effect video in like over a year because I thought it was kind of like boring now. But recently TikTok has just blown up with Mandela effects. A lot of you guys have been suggesting that I make another one of these videos because you guys have been sending me ones of TikToks specifically, and there have been quite a few that have really tripped me out, so let's get into it. The first two are ones that I have personally talked about, also ones that have been blowing up on TikTok, specifically Captain Crunch. So basically, Captain Crunch, the cereal, I always remember it being spelled Captain, like the word Captain Crunch, fully spelled out. But it's always been Cap'n Crunch. And like, what is that? Excuse me? Personally, just have never seen it like that. Like, I don't get it. The next one that's been blowing up on TikTok is Fruit of the Loom, which this one has been bothering me for years. And I talked about it, like I said, in a video previously. But I 100% always remember Fruit of the Loom having a cornucopia in its logo. It doesn't, and it never did. That one is one that really messes up my head, because where the hell did we all just get a cornucopia from? Like, where did we pick that out of our brains? Like, I feel like that's just like not a thing that would like, it's not like one of the ones like even like the Cap'n Crunch one or like the next one that we'll talk about, or even just like the Berenstein Bears. Like this is like out of pocket. Like that's so out of pocket for a cornucopia. Like why would we all just like remember that for no reason? It's beyond me. It's truly beyond me. Like I actually have chills right now. The next one is Cheez-Its. This one has been going viral on TikTok, and I get why, because I was so broken when I saw this. That sounds dramatic, but it's like I always thought that Cheez-Its was spelled cheese-its with a Z at the end of Cheez-Its, like without shadow of a doubt. But it's always just been Cheez-It, and something about that sits very uncomfortably with me. All right, the next Mandela effect that I can't believe that I haven't heard of, and that's why I actually really believe it's a Mandela effect, because as you guys know, I've made several of these videos. I'm so stressed. When I saw this, I was like, what? Because like I have researched so many. I go on Reddit, I go on Twitter, I go on like literally everything. You guys send them to me, like even still to this day, but especially when I was making them a lot of Mandela Effect videos. And Neil Armstrong, the first man who landed on the moon, passed away in 2012. And like, I just don't remember that at all. Like I either thought he was still alive or died very long time ago, because that's not sitting right with my head, because I feel like I would have definitely talked about it, and it's weird that it's only coming up now, and like I just simply do not trust it. I do not. And I just think that's really odd. And I definitely remember him not dying. Similar situation, Picasso died in 1973. I thought Picasso was like really old, like Van Gogh, that time era. I definitely didn't think Picasso was like around in the 70s. You know, honestly, I'm not sure if the next one is stupid or not, but I was talking to my beautiful friend Gabby. She always says things incorrectly. I'm so sorry, Gabby. We were talking about how I made like a weekly agenda and I like made it all pretty and whatever, and my friend Gabby was like, oh, I love to color code it, like C-O-A-T, and we were all like, Gabby, it's color code, like C-O-D-E, and she was like, no, it's color code, like. And then I said it to my sister. I just think it's so funny because my sister was like, no, it's color code, like it's coat. And so I Googled it, and it is color code. Regardless, so many people have Googled color coat and tweeted color coat with a T, and I'm just like very confused by it. It's not a personal Mandela effect because I always remember being color code. But what do you remember? So the next Mandela effect comes from the movie Camp Rock. I very specifically remember this scene, and it's apparently, like when I saw the TikTok, I read some of the comments and it said that the scene like that you're thinking is like missing is on the extended version. But I tried to look it up, I couldn't find it. Also, side note, I don't think that I've ever seen the extended version of Camp Rock unless that's what they play on Disney Channel, because that's the only time I've ever seen it. So either way, basically I remember specifically that there is a scene where Tess starts singing This Is Me to like kind of get Shane's attention, because she knows that like he's looking for the girl who was singing the song, which is obviously Mitchie. So I'm like kind of confused because the scene was basically completely gone for the movie, non-extended version. Like I said, if you know which version they play on Disney Channel, I would love to know. I don't think I've ever seen Camp Rock on like a DVD, so like I think the only time I would have seen it was on actual Disney Channel. So it's really weird that I remember that scene so vividly. So what do you guys remember? Do you remember the scene? Could you find a link to it? Because I couldn't, but let me know, because that one fucked me up a little bit. So let me know what you remember. So the next Mandela effect is from the movie Gremlins. I always remember Gremlin character being named Spike, and apparently his name is Stripe. I'm not really sure. I was kind of young when I saw this movie. I even saw something being like Gremlin, like Spike doll. Like someone was that much of a fan that they were gonna order a doll and they didn't even like know the doll, like the fucking thing's name. So it's pretty weird. But what do you guys remember? I would love to know. Next one's kind of a weird one, not gonna lie. But I saw it on TikTok, and the Bubble Yum bubblegum. When the hell was there a punk duck on that? What? I remember just being like a duck or a swan, like the TikTok said. I couldn't tell you if it was a duck or swan, but I could for sure absolutely tell you that that bitch did not have a nose ring and wasn't like a punk bitch, because I would have noticed that. I loved Avril Lavigne and all that shit, and there's no way that I would not have noticed that that was like a punk bitch on like gum, because I used to eat that gum all the time. I've noticed is that kids notice everything, and like that's something I definitely would have paid attention to. I'm just confused. I don't know how I didn't notice it at first, if that's even possible. I truly think this one's a Mandela effect, because what the hell? The next Mandela effect revolves around Ghiradelli chocolate. I always remember Ghiradelli or Ghiradelli, I didn't even know the pronunciation, being spelt like this, but apparently it's been spelt like Ghiradelli. Definitely not how you pronounce it. Am I okay? Like Ghiradelli. Like that's how it's actually spelled, with like 2 R's, and I'm kind of just confused because like what's the actual pronunciation, because I feel like it doesn't make sense. But either way, when I was staring at the logo, it just looked so wrong to me. Like I definitely only remember it being spelled like Ghiradelli, like still with just 1 A and no extra R. What do you guys remember though? The next Mandela effect is one I know I've talked about, but I don't know if it was in a video or just on Twitter. But either way, it needs to be said again, because it needs to be reiterated how weird I think this is. But Drake and Josh, iconic fucking theme song, iconic show in general, but the theme song is what we're focusing on. Drake, I remember Drake singing, "It's gonna take some voice, it's gonna take some time to realize," like always, it's gonna take some, yep. I'm really glad I could speak English well. It's gonna take some time to realize. Like I always thought that that was the lyrics my whole life, my whole childhood. And I recently found out that it's going to take some time to realign. Like, what? And like Drake is like so set on this being like, I like how I said Drake, like we were friends. Drake Bell is very set on this being, it's gonna take some time to realign. Like he remembers it the way that it actually is, but like all of us are like, bitch, no, it wasn't. That one kind of upsets me, but what do you remember? The next Mandela effect, I'm sure that I've talked about, but it needs to be spoken about again because I just remembered something else regarding it, is that Blue's Clues, like Blue has always been a girl, and I didn't know that. I thought that Blue was a boy, but also like what needs to be reiterated is that Blue is a girl and so is Magenta, so they're lesbians basically. So happy Pride. What do you guys actually remember though? Do you remember Blue being a girl? Because like I definitely don't remember that, but you know what? I'm here for it either way, because lesbians. They're actually dogs. They're actually cartoon dogs. Like they're not real, but you know, here for it. Next Mandela effect that I want to talk about is Chuckie Cheese. This one's so absurd to me, and I feel like I did not get enough spoken about, and it did not get enough spoken about. Yeah, that's a sentence. It did not get spoken about enough because Chuckie Cheese, I always obviously remember it being just Chuckie Cheese. Like that's the place that you go when you want to go on slides and like hang out and eat pizza. Apparently it's always been Chuckie Cheese's, like apostrophe S, which really doesn't sit right with me. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't agree, and I don't understand, just like from a personal standpoint, because my mother and every other Long Island mom that I've ever met in my life says everything wrong, like absolutely everything, and pluralizes everything. I can barely think of an establishment that my mom doesn't pluralize on purpose, so she would always call it Chuckie Cheese's, but I always remember being like, Mom, like it's just Chuckie Cheese, like you're so not cool, like Chuckie Cheese is, like, why would she say that? And but it's apparently always been Chuckie Cheese's, and my mom was right. But I just like don't agree with that, because I always remember like the theme song is like Chuckie Cheese is where a kid could be a kid, but I thought it was like Chuckie Cheese is like IS where a kid could be a kid, because as structurally sentenced that makes more sense. But what do you guys remember? All right, the last 2 Mandela effects are absolutely absurd to me. I can't wrap my head around them. First, we're going to be talking about Ariana Grande's Thank You Next music video. Iconic. I've seen it several times, especially because a lot of you guys thought I was actually in it. And when I told Ariana's mom this, she was like, you should just tell people that you were actually in it. She was like, we won't say anything. And I was like, girl, okay. So that's me. But either way, I've seen this video several times. I remember the car for the Legally Blonde scene always being pink, and I saw this blow up on Twitter, And I was literally like, bitch, what the fuck? Because apparently the car is black. It's just like a black convertible. And I always thought 100% that it was pink. And I feel very confused by this one. Apparently, like in actual Legally Blonde as well, it is a black convertible. Personally, I don't even know if I've ever seen Legally Blonde. I know the show really well, like the musical, but the movie itself, I feel like I haven't seen in a really long time, so I personally wouldn't remember that anyway. But either way, for sure, in the music video, I thought that it was a pink car because it's Elle Woods. She loves pink. Why wouldn't it be pink? It's always been black. A lot of you guys also agree that you remember the car being pink. Like, I just remember it being such a statement piece that, like, how could it, like, I just remember the pink car so well. So what do you guys remember? And the last one, there's 2 Mandela effects surrounding this. Like, I cannot believe it. Like, actually, this one really tripped me out. Obviously, we all know the Kim Kardashian meme. Maybe if you had a business that you were passionate about, iconic. This particular fight, I so full-heartedly remember happening in like 2019. Like, I thought it happened maybe August of 2019. First of all, it happened August of 2018, and it's not even just because, oh, maybe it just became popular in 2019. Like, no, like I actually like watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians, so like I remember it actually like happening, and I cannot believe that this didn't happen in 2019. Like, it's actually like blowing my mind. But that's not even like the regular Mandela effect part of this. That's just like a personal thing. But I also like, do you guys remember it being 2 years ago? Like, I feel like it was recently. But what do you guys remember? Either way, the Mandela effect on this particular video, it's a whole fight about Kim and Kourtney and like their schedules conflicting. And Kim basically said that she didn't care because Kourtney was the least interesting to look at. I always thought that this was the phrase. I've seen so many people talk about how Kim said that Kourtney was the least interesting to look at. It's been all over Twitter. But she actually said in the video that Kourtney is the least exciting to look at.
She's the least exciting to look at.
I don't have words. Like, I really vividly can hear Kim Kardashian saying like Kourtney is like the least interesting to look at. Because why would you say least exciting to look at? Like, I guess that makes sense, but I feel like least exciting is like not right. And I definitely think it's not right for the situation. Like, what the hell do you guys remember? I definitely remember it being least interesting to look at. Let me know what you guys remember about all of these Mandela effects in the comments below. But that is it. If you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you remember about these Mandela effects. I would love to know. Also, please let me know if you are a Black-owned business or a Black creator or Black musician, any of the above, just anything. If you just create online and you need support and just like a platform, let me know in the comments below so I can promote you in further videos. But that is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram because I'm always posting really dope ass shit on there. Subscribe for new videos every week, and I will see you guys later. Bye!